We're back onto the Hunter. Welcome. We've done another loop-de-loop with the whole 5. Hey Kyle, what's up, dude? So wait, yeah, it's 5. We replaced the robot with Paradox in our cycle, which I think was a good call. As you can tell by the fact that the streak's still going. Kyle has been like burning through some crazy custom character mod additions. He already made the mod so that he made like the mod framework so that it was easier to make and implement custom characters. And now yeah, well, I'm gonna change, like I said, once this streak is done with these particular parameters, once I lose the streak, as long as I make it into triple digits, we're gonna shuffle things pretty significantly. I'm thinking of doing an all 6 character streak with mods. Or all 7 character streak with mods, I guess it would be, including the robot, the bullet, and the gunslinger, just to keep the variety high. And the mods to also keep the variety high. Maybe I'll even include Rufus in there, and custom characters. Dude, I should just do, yeah, that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll do an all the characters I can find streak with mods enabled, with custom items and simple stats and things like that enabled. And I'll just add any character that I can find that's not like basically meant to be torturous. Ooh boy. So no, like, starts with 1 health and, you know, a breeze breaks his spine. None of those kind of hyper challenge characters, just there to be obnoxious. Whoa! Oh, that was one of Geely's little things. I thought that was a regular bullet just whipping around like a snake does. Oh, fuck. I've been able to react to situations pretty well in this on this first floor, but I have been putting myself in pretty dangerous, like unnecessary situations where I love their hiding behind the table animation. It's so neat, the little, like, the diagonal of it. Yeah, I haven't been the smartest about my positioning for most of this first floor. That's gotta change. That's gotta wait. Time to start playing smart. Whoop. Wait, when did I take damage? Fuck. Oh, I didn't. God, I'm so stupid. I sold, and then I didn't pick up the heart piece. That's neat. How do you feel about that as an idea, Kyle? I go through and I add, like, Wondrous's character. I add, you know, that afflicted character that you showed me. I add maybe some other stuff that other people have made, and just do a streak with, like, all of the characters that end up in the breach, including all the dodge roll official characters and anything that's not too busted that is made by mods. I think that'd be a pretty neat way to go about it. I hate when he hides behind these freaking walls. I mean, I get it. I'm gonna be hiding behind those walls in a little bit, but I can't rain missiles down from behind him. Tell her I say hello. And this high bullshit you always say to Jackie. Saying hi is bullshit. Real men say hello. And other unnecessary gatekeeping. I swear, at some point it looked like he would take damage from his own rocket blast, but it seems like that's not the case now. Whoa, shit! I didn't want to waste that blink. God damn it. I felt like I got caught on that corner there. No fucking keys. No extra blanks. Man, the like... no extra health even. The no keys on the first floor situation is starting to annoy me. I know that's the risk you take for going to the oubliette, but man, I just hate, like, having to pass up multiple fucking chests as early as floor 1. Oh well. Maybe by not getting that red chest, we'll get a blue chest later on. Or a black chest. Blue chest later on. Let's see if we can't turn this in, though. I do want to go to the Abbey, yeah. This isn't like last run where I had 2 black chests. That's a little bit different. That was one that I felt very comfortable passing the passing up the oubliette and the Abbey for. Do 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 do. So I realized that with the way that I have been using my my starting weapons for characters that start with more than one is not ideal. I keep, especially for the hunter, nipple oil. Sweet. Is that what comes out of nipples? I thought that was called milk. But what do I know? I don't have any nipples. That is. I'm a Ken doll. I'm a Ken doll over here. When I was born, they melted some boxer briefs on me and sanded my nipples off. No nip is so hip. But yeah, I need to be better about how I cycle between my things. Not run out of ammo, so I immediately have to reload, because the crossbow, you want to have already reloaded before you use it, or else you're just going to be sitting there reloading afterwards. You know what's crazy? So, women are very comfortable talking about things that men, I think, are, on average, not always, but on average, they either only talk about in joke form, or they don't talk about ever at all. Women are really, really comfortable talking about very direct sexual experiences and things like that, which men, if we talk about sexual experiences, it usually comes off as like braggadocious or braggartly or regurgitative. It feels like when men talk about sex, it's this kind of like, hey, I've got something you don't have, and it's a history of having good sex. Excuse me. Whereas women will just be like, yeah, last night I was getting BF'd by my husband, and, you know, I really liked the way that he stuck his dingling right inside of me. And I'm like, I've heard women talk about sex, and it's always shocking, the frankness of it. Like, not that I have, like, I wouldn't have any problem talking about sex if it didn't feel like I was kind of breaking the social contract by doing so. Like sex, plain talk about sex is not something that men do, and I feel like even if I did it, it would be breaking the rules, you know? Oh, I need water. Wow, that's crazy. I can't believe that. It's been a little while since a black market. Wow. All right, we don't have any keys though. That's another bummer for a black market. It probably comes from like Latin or German or something, but you might be right. There's an Oscar Wilde play that's just called The Importance of Being Earnest, where the entire play is a setup for the punchline of this guy realizing his name is actually Ernest, and Ernest also means Frank. Hey Kyle, I mean Fog. Kyle's already been here. How you doing? F to the M. You're like one of those radios, all FM, all the day. It's good. I have my weekend's a little weird. I usually would be at work at this moment, but I worked an AM shift today because I have to go in extremely early for my first double tomorrow. And it's actually okay. Like, I'm starting my my bar lead stuff. We got to do inventory tomorrow, and the bar manager is not a night person, so they used to do all the inventory stuff at the end of the shift, but I really didn't like the idea of my bar manager coming in super late to work. After she'd already worked an AM shift, just to see, or just to count, you know, all the liquor, and basically we count all of the liquids that aren't water in the restaurant and figure out if we're on track for what we have claimed as sales. But it's my first time doing it, so I suggested we just do it in the mornings, which I'm not a morning person, but I'd rather it not be so rough for the manager. When I have to be there, usually I work at 9:30 or 10:30 anyway, so I'm just there a couple hours early. Water gun. Water gun. That's not a fucking water gun. Never, ever get a water gun on the first 2 floors unless there's no chance of a romance. Damn. Well, that sucked. Well, we're gonna have to go in there with no freaking water. Lose our S rank item. No keys either. God damn. Wait, we have enough money. We don't have enough. We don't have any curse though. Yeah, alright. Gold amulet, cursed bullets, and then the key. Ah, fuck. Right. The key guy still takes keys. Oh, right. Ah, so close. It's a little too soon. So that's 2.5. This will put me at 3.5, 4.5, 6.57. Unless I drop the Excalibur, which we might do. The keys, man. The keys are a major bummer. Another fucking floor with no money earned. So we're at 7 curse right now, which is great damage. I guess we're destroying these. That's even worse than junk at this point, I feel. Alright, we really gotta hope and try our hardest to get to the Abbey, because that would just have been so many chests wasted if we don't. Yuck, man. Alright. That's our situation. There was a checkpoint, Charlie. He didn't crack a smile. But it's no laughing party when you're out on the... That was weird. It looked like it went through the thing. Like it went through the wall. It was very weird. Right. You always gotta hope that the extra damage from the curse bullets at least equals the extra health from jammed enemies. I would like to go back to just my starters as soon as possible. So I'd like to turn in this thing also as soon as possible. Ugh, I'm always like nervous and quiet and shit when I'm holding this. Wow, did one hit will this kill him? That's crazy. That's a crazy damage increase. But it's no laughing party. I don't know why. I've had Elvis Costello just like, yuck. Just like stuck in my head for the last couple of days. And I couldn't tell you the last time I actually heard Elvis Costello. He's one of those musicians that I really, really loved for a long time. That I started listening to because there's a few of these because of a girl that I was interested in. There's some that I listened to because there's the Mega Dozer. Thank you so much. Because it's a girl that I dated, and some that I was just a girl that I was like smitten with for a little bit. But Elvis Costello was not someone I had ever actually listened to until my junior year of high school. There was this senior in the writing department, a grade above me, who really liked Elvis Costello, and so I was like, you know what I'm gonna do is listen. This is the other one that they fixed. They made a bad item good. The devolver rounds now automatically turn enemies into the most devolved state. They don't devolve them through many states. So there's still a chance that I could gain some HP, but it's gaining the least amount of HP possible. Yeah. Anyway, Elvis Costello is someone I don't like all of his stuff. Some of his like he's not a singer, he's a songwriter, and some of the stuff the vocals are just so bland that it's kind of like hard to look over them. And some, you know that it's so beside the point that it doesn't matter. And there's actually some that really, like, All of His Army is one where the vocals actually have like grown on me with time, even though it's still his same kind of like Tom Waitsy like gravelly singing. Not quite as intense as Tom Waits or Honus Honus or anything like that, but still that kind of gravelly, like using the scratchiness of his voice to its full advantage. Macy Gray is another example. I fucking hate Macy Gray. Macy Gray to me is someone who took an idea that other people had used and then did it badly, but was like more, I guess for a few songs was more successful. I guess for over the course of her career, she probably wasn't more successful than Tom Waits or Elvis Costello. But there were a few years where you couldn't turn on the freaking radio without hearing, "I try to say goodbye and not joke. I try to walk away and I somehow." It's like so extreme. Like, it's like cartoonish. And I know it was a part of the whole let's subvert every expectation. We're in the 90s. We're just doing things because our parents won't like it. Like, that was the point of the Macy Grays and the, I guess, the Spice Girls. I don't know. I don't know what else was really in the same category. But like, just that's all MTV was for a while, was subversion. Or at least that's what it seems like to me. Like, there were, like, I mean, Beavis and Butthead. It just existed to be grosser than, and like, you know, it grew on me. I think Mike Judge knows how to write stuff that's genuinely funny by starting off with ideas that are genuinely just like ridiculous. But Beavis and Butthead was sorry, just finding out how we did today. Just like, fill me up with water weapons, please. Fill me up. As soon as it's a little bit too late, just fill me up, Buttercup baby. And worst of all, you never caught baby when you say you will, but I love you still. I need you. Yabbity bitty bobo, yappity popope. Oh, build me up. Bippity dop doo da hooray. I'm gonna get this. That might have been a dumb decision, but I genuinely think that the sense of direction is useful. On later floors, and I have all of these blanks that I'd like to make as much use of as possible. Blanks, companion ring, table tech blanks, elder blank are the things I'm looking for. I feel like the sense of direction is just a, it's so I don't feel foolish if I do get blank companion ring, even though, you know, I think I've gotten it relatively recently, so I feel the gambler's fallacy working on my brain is less likely to show up again. Ooh, I like that. The 90s were a weird time. So someone posted on Reddit something that gets reposted every once in a while, but it's like it's an ad from Nintendo for the Game Boy Pocket, I believe. It wasn't the original Game Boy because that came out in like 84, 85 or something. But it was an ad for the oh god, the Game Boy Pocket, I think, and it's a woman like shackled to a bed frame, like they're gonna be doing sex stuff, but like a little more BDSM than just two people plugging it, which is the grossest way to describe sex. But and then there's a pair of guys' hands holding a Game Boy Pocket with like Tetris on the screen or something, and it says, It says, new Game Boy Pocket, seriously distracting, with like a crazy psycho font or something. And to me, that's insane that Nintendo, the family-friendly company of all video game companies, which I know they've gone both ways before. That's why, like, when Bayonetta got its like risque costumes on the Switch or Wii U or whatever, I didn't feel super surprised. Dude, the eye patch is so good. Bionic legs are also very, very good. Because I know Nintendo has skirted multiple markets. Oh, it's nothing about Bayonetta. I was just talking. I was having a long rambling talk about the 90s in general, and how it seems like the main drive of the 90s was subversion of expectations. Like, being subversive, being counterculture was like fucking cool as hell. That's how MTV kind of grew its brand. That's how I was talking about the Game Boy Pocket ads, where they had like they had that ad where the woman was strapped to the bed and the guy was seriously distracted and in a crazy font playing his Game Boy. I don't know, it was just a weird time. They also had the Game Boy Color advertisements where they had like different different colored hair dudes, like bright green, whatever, like punk mohawks and stuff like that. And I think the final one was the clear one. It was a woman with a bald head, with bald hair. Yeah, I don't know. I remember the 90s being this time where the whole driving force of it was, we're gonna get away with as much as we can because we're not stuffy like our parents. Like, that was the whole, like, I don't know, stylistic approach. Sorry, I can't look at chat right now. I think angst is kind of an old expression of teenage rebellion. Now it's just being fucking weird. Like, it's yeeting and like memeing up. Like, I think angst is out the window. Angst ended with apathy in the late 90s with the grunge movement and everything like that, and then was replaced by sarcasm in the early 2000s, I think. And then for a little while, it was just like pure, genuine expressions of interest. And now it seems to be meme culture. I think is the biggest thing now. Dude, I just fucking flawless that old king without having too great of weapons, but some pretty good damage. You know, I don't think rock will ever be dead. I think that rock is changing. I think that things aren't rock and roll to quite the same degree they are, but like, the rock and roll we listened to in the 90s wasn't rock and roll in the same way that it was in the 50s or the 60s or the 70s. Like, it's a pretty malleable art form. And I think everyone's gonna think that music is dead every 10 years or so. But that's one of the great things about music is, like, I hate hearing, I get up my own butt about, like, some of the shitty hip-hop that's going on nowadays, like, because I grew up, you know, hip-hop was something that was kind of significant to me. Oh my fucking lord. I need to tally up my curse. Okay. So, let's see. I have one Cursula. Oops, sorry. Did that twice. One Cursula, so that's 2.5. Sorry, I'm really bad at using the curse counter. 2.5. Excalibur is 2.5. And then Cursed Bullets is 1. So I was only at 6. I wasn't at 7. If I drop the Excalibur, that puts me at 3.5. And then if I pick up the finished gun, that puts me at 8.5. I think that's what we're going to do. All right, well, things are a little tricky right now. So now we'll have jammed bosses, but we have Cursed Bullets, so that should actually negate the added health of the jam bosses. But we're in a pretty good spot in terms of armor, but armor doesn't last forever. We'll just have to start worrying about taking double damage on jam bosses. I don't think we're going to have a ton of problem with jam bosses. You know what? I really want Scatter Shot. I really, really want Scatter Shot. But yeah, I don't know. I feel what you're saying about the departure of what we would consider our favorite genres of music. But I think that's like a pretty standard feeling that comes with getting older. Everything feels like it's going away. Everything's changing in the wrong direction. Every generation, basically. Don't give me something that's jammed, you butthole. Okay. That's actually pretty good. So we need to find the other secret room. It might be in here. It's not super likely that it's in here. But do we have a gun we don't at all care about? You know what? Honestly, this one. It's not that we don't care about it, it's just the weakest of the bunch. I wouldn't mind finding a wall mimic by doing this too. We've been getting Heck Blaster a lot. It'd be really, actually pretty freaking nice if that showed up this run. It's a little curse removal. Where's this stupid secret room? Doodly-doo. I've had it in here one time, I think. Secret room is supposed to be more likely to be farther away from the starting room. Alright, well, we're probably gonna go to the shop and just explode up in there a couple times. Or just once. It makes more sense. Wow. Why was it so concentrated? I didn't love it. I don't think it's bad. I think it's just, it felt like a filler movie. It felt like one of Marvel's, like, movies to set up the other movies, you know? I felt the same way about Ant-Man 2, and Ant-Man 2, especially. Like, those movies were just to make a little bit extra money so they could prepare for the more story-intense movies, as I understand them. They never felt really, like, necessary or exciting. I like the problem solving of Doctor Strange. I like the way that he didn't let his lack of experience like get in the way, but I also think he was like a big kind of Mary Sue, kind of a like, I don't like prophecy, I think, a lot of time, because it's cheap. It feels cheap for someone to just, we know that they're going to be the greatest from the beginning, and then they're the greatest, despite not having to struggle nearly as hard as people who worked much harder than them. I don't know. I think there need to be more stories about, like, the actual impact of working towards something instead of it just being a montage. Because it like, and this is probably like an old guy perspective, but it's boring to see people just be handed things by prophecy or genealogy. Like, I was actually lying in bed last night thinking about how much I respected The Last Jedi for that. I know everybody fucking hates that movie. I personally don't hate it. What? Why was it going up? Oh, okay. And like the whole forget the past, like nothing that happened before us matters kind of vibe that movie gave off was is exactly how I kind of look at things. I don't have a lot of respect for like yeah, is the one where they sent ships right through. We might be getting a little bomber. Where they use the hyperspace drive to blow up ships with another ship, and everyone hated that because of logistical reasons. Like, why didn't they do that before? Why didn't they make missiles that were just hyperspace missiles, etc., etc.? And it's like everybody wants to argue about things that are beside the point. Like, there was a moment of sacrifice. It was a moment of, we're not going to win this just by being plucky. And I think the Star Wars series as a whole needed a removal of pluck. It's always just like plucky adventurers taking on the fucking scourges of the universe because of their destiny. Like, they don't have to try, they're just given. I mean, I know that, like, part of the reason I think the Empire Strikes Back is the strongest of the original trilogy is because we see Luke training. We see him becoming through trials and tribulations and like the hard insistence of Yoda. We see him becoming more proficient in the Force instead of just being proficient in the Force. And they kind of missed that a little bit with they should have spent a little bit more time training Rey, because her lifting all those rocks at the end, I think, upset a lot of people. But I think there was an implication of her spending more time with Luke than was shown on screen. But yeah, I think I didn't like Rogue One because I didn't find the characters interesting, but I liked a lot of the writing of Rogue One. I liked a lot of the storytelling of that movie. But the characters kind of were grating to me. Oh, fuck you, rat. Damn it. I knew I should have killed that little jammed rat. I don't know. I wish the characters in Rogue One. Yeah, the lack of a happy ending is something that needs to happen more often in Star Wars, and I think that like, I loved Solo. I loved Solo. I thought it was fucking great. And I didn't watch it in theaters for the same reason that most people didn't watch it in theaters, because the guy didn't look like Harrison Ford. And because it looked like maybe the directors had lost their way or whatever. Ron Howard didn't know what he was doing. But I watched Solo pretty recently, and I was thoroughly impressed with it. Like, I was genuinely satisfied with that movie. It's on Netflix. That's where I watched it, and I think it's absolutely worth it if you like the Star Wars universe at all. Yeah, I just think it's absolutely worth it. I don't know. Emilia Clarke did amazing in that movie. I'm not a Game of Thrones watcher, but like she did great as the love interest, but much more of a realist. They're adding that's what these movies did. They add realism and stakes to a series that is just about like, not you, Siri. A series that is just about like being plucky and wholesome. God damn it. Don't get to say interesting question to me because I said the word seriously. Just being all sarcastic, snarky. But yeah, like if you go back and look at the original Star Wars trilogy, we're supposed to understand that Luke's, like, especially the first movie, it's just things falling into people's lap. Luke Skywalker had a moment's exposure to the Force and hit a target that was really difficult. They happened to get the plans. Like, Rogue One did a good job of making those plans, showing the cost of those plans. But so much of the early Star Wars universe is just like, we're good, wholesome guys. We deserve to win. We're not gonna suffer and die. We're the good guys. So you don't feel the scope of an intergalactic war, or I guess an interstellar. It's not really intergalactic. It's all in one galaxy. And because of that, you're just rooting for the good guys because they're wearing the white cowboy hats. Like, intergalactic, planetary, intergalactic, another dimension. I love that Beastie Boys song. Video's so dumb. But yeah, it to me, I want the series to move away from being cops and robbers, being cowboys and Indians. Like, I want it to be more nuanced, and I think that's what The Last Jedi did. I don't know how we started talking about this, now that I'm thinking about it. How'd we get here? You said Doctor Strange. Yes. Yeah. He's just decided that he's gonna be the... I mean, it is just decided that he's gonna be the greatest sorcerer. Harry Potter has the lineage, you know. Like, I just don't... I don't want another story of someone just being born into greatness and us not... I guess I never watched the Harry Potters. He probably worked pretty hard for his wizard skills. I'd imagine there were fucking 9 movies. Like, gotta put in some work somewhere. 9 movies? Maybe 8 movies, actually. We'll make the money back. Neat. Yeah, didn't he have this scar of prophecy or whatever? Yeah, Harry Potter was just born into it too. Like, I can't stand that. That's so cheap. That skips over the need for, like, the fear of failure, in my opinion. If someone's a prophesied messiah, this is also the problem I had with the book Dune. Like, messiahs aren't going to lose. Maybe they'll lose in the 4th book so that a new messiah can fill their role or their impact is already made. But, like, I don't... Predestination is uninteresting narrative, as far as I can tell. As far as it's utilized most of the time, I should say. Oh, damn, there's a secret room right there. Not bad. You know, let's just do it. We got a bunch of extra blanks. Wait, that might have a fuse on it. I think I already went far enough to see if there was a fuse, but let's not push it. No! Fuck! That was a bad dodge roll. It's time to refill this. You know, like, okay, so here's why Endgame was a great, or not Endgame, but Infinity War was a great thing. The whole point of the movie was you don't get to win because you believe fate is on your side. That's the lesson they were teaching with Infinity War. Thor has always won because fate has willed it so. Like, that's his belief. That's kind of let him be this cocky, like, blowhard who just knows he's gonna win, because that's been the case literally every single time. We needed a loss. They needed to take a big freaking L and feel the pain of it. Everybody in the fucking world knew that they were gonna win after the next one at some cost, but I mean, they announced freaking Spider-Man Far From Home before the dust had settled on Infinity War. So yeah, we all knew they were going to come back. However, this guy's shooting way too frequently. Thank you. However, them taking that L, them getting a big loss, knocked the chip over their shoulder. They realized then that fate did not will it so. That predestination is a fabrication. It's a motivating force. Right? They filmed all this stuff, released a trailer, and then it's like, oh, Tom Holland is actually no longer gonna be Spider-Man. Gotcha, everybody. Dude, that would have been badass, now that I'm thinking about it. That would have cost so much money to do, but like, I don't think Disney's really struggling for specie right now. Like, I think they got money to burn. Shit. However, I don't know, even still, I think that movies, at least these Disney movies recently, are upsetting people by shaking up the narrative. Like, one of the biggest complaints about well, there's two big complaints about The Last Jedi, and I think they're valid, but they're missing the point. The first is Rose stopping him from committing suicide to try to save whatever. Hey, it's a mimic. And I think that was such a great touch. Just like, pluckiness is not a shield anymore, you know? Like, being gung-ho is not gonna freaking save the world. And the other thing, the greater thing, shit, is that, well, we don't really need a boss weapon. Not right now, at least. The other thing is, like, Snoke. Snoke? Snook. I believe it's Snook. Snook died pretty easily. Which I think does the same thing. You don't get to just be the big bad. Like, I fucking hope they're gonna astonish us. Like, I don't have a lot of faith that they're going to with J.J. Abrams back at the helm. He's too much of a traditionalist when it comes to movie making. Even though I didn't have any problem with the heavy-handed kind of callback nature of oh god, what was the first one called? Or the seventh one. I really liked Abrams, the way that Abrams did Star Wars, Not a New Hope. What was it called? The next one's called The Rise of Skywalker. It was The Last Jedi. I don't know. I don't remember what it was called. Wow. But anyway, that was like getting everybody back on board with Star Wars. Like, that was the point of it. we're supposed to remember why we love Star Wars. Roller G, you need to work with me. And work with me. No. That's what I was saying before. Fucking scattershot. Yeah, the Force Awakens. Thank you. Oh wait, let's just sell something to get more money. Yeah, The Force Awakens was just a nostalgia trip. It was supposed to be like, remember how good this felt. Remember what it was like to have these guys to root for. And while remembering that, how about get reinvested on the series as a whole, so that we can pump out a bunch more of these and some side stories, some 2.5s or 3.5s and things like that. Yeah, right? Isn't it weird? Like, I really enjoyed that movie. I saw it twice in theaters, and I don't see movies twice. Oh my fucking lord. Whale. Whale, whale. Whale, whale, whale. Junkin just showed up out of nowhere? I'm not gonna use the siren. Let's sell this shit. But yeah, I loved how much of a shakeup The Last Jedi was. I loved how much of a shakeup it was. They had to bend some rules. They had to turn expectations on their head. They had to be really 90s and just be edgy and subversive. Like, and they had to upset some people to do it. However, I think they made the right call, personally. And I hope that they keep the subversion going. It looks like what Abrams is going to do is bring back the Emperor and just have it be another nostalgia trip, which isn't necessarily like bad, but him constantly doing more of the same doesn't add anything. I don't know. But you know, it's my opinion. And it's also, I think, this is a problem I have in general. Bandwagon hate is something that I can't fucking stand. And I think a lot of people really, really hated The Last Jedi before they thought about it critically. Because the internet makes bandwagon anything more common. I don't know. I find myself being like anti-bandwagon hate before I even have fully formed my opinion, pro or against something, because I just don't. I want to know what my opinion is fully. I want to give it the time to flesh itself out. But you can't do that when everybody's screaming about how terrible something is 1 second after the first trailer is released. Like, I saw Detective Pikachu, and it was exactly middle of the road. That movie was loved and revered based on its first trailer, and then it was just okay. There was nothing bad about it, nothing good. But, you know, you put an ugly Sonic in a trailer and people have already determined that everything about that movie is going to be garbage and there's no saving it. Like, the memes, the fucking, like, flowing vitriol about the movie, the number of YouTube videos that I saw posted about ugly Sonic was frankly just fucking ridiculous. It was obnoxious how fully the bandwagon hate had just, like, consumed this thing that had existed for a number of moments. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of just in general tired of people hating things before that thing has a chance to prove or disprove people. And I really feel like The Last Jedi is a big source of bandwagon hate. And, like, whether people realize it or not, but they're going to go along with popular opinion pretty easily a lot of the time. Because it's just what we do. We will justify things based off of, like, loosely cobbled together arguments that we've seen, whether we actually agree with it or not. If it's said by people that we respect the opinion of, which is, I know I'm pretty opinionated about a lot of things, but it's why I hope that, like, my opinion doesn't have too much weight to the 7 people that ever watch this channel, because my opinion is my opinion, and I think I form it from a place of basic logic, but I know that I am just as likely as everyone else in the world to have heard some person say one thing. Dude, like, I'm trying to think of a good example, but there are so many things that I know I've picked up on because I heard someone say it, and then I was like, that seems right. I really like this person and respect what they have to say. Like, we're all subject to that. And there are plenty of people who actually actively hate The Last Jedi, and they felt that way before anybody voiced a single opinion about the movie. But there are many, many more who hate it because of the mass hatred it had cast upon it. Like, it's just true that there's a lot of people who hate that movie. And, like, they'll look at something in the movie, say that this is terrible and unacceptable, and then they'll look at 10 other movies that have the same thing and be like, I love this movie. It's just weird. We get bouncy bullets a fucking ton. Like a ton. There it is. There it is. Table Tech blanks. We got Table Tech bees to go along with it. Table Tech Blank's gold amulet is what I dream about. I like it, even though it's less helpful in bosses, I like it more than I like Table Tech Blank old blank, Elder Blank. I feel like we're good on junk also. What the fuck? This guy's a teleporter. I wouldn't mind some ammo, but my ammo situation is kind of by my undoing. I'm using my best weapons on every room just because that's something I never get to do. I never allow myself to do. Let's test this out real quick. Oh shit, you can fire once and then do that. Okay, you don't have to fully burn through the clip. Oh god! So the two things I wanted really badly, I got. Table Tech blanks and scatter shot. Sorry guys, but you're gone. 2 keys from clearing that room. This situation is insane. I feel like it's a little dangerous though. Pup, tell me. Check him out. Sniff him. One of my favorite weapons. I don't really have a ton of use for it right now, unfortunately. Ooh. Stinger with the synergy that is with bees, right? Oh no, particle flow, okay. Just in case we have to deal with any jam boys. Alright, this run is crazy. Yeah. Yeah. This run is crazy. I should just drop the loot bag because of my distractible nature. I'm gonna drop the loot bag because of my distractible nature. Where is it? It's not synergizing with anything, is it? No. Sorry, loot bag. You're out of here. Doodle-doodle-doodle-doodle-doodle. Bye. Goodbye. Damn. I destroyed a table. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just gonna use up the stinger. Because why not? You never get a chance for it to be like a room destroyer. The extra damage from jam or curse bullets is making the scatter shot still actually do more damage than they normally would, and I don't think the bees are affected by the fall off. Hey, I killed him while he was already chasing me. I guess explosions still hit him. Neat. That's a lot of devolutions recently. I wonder if the bees have the chance to devolve. Should save that. Let's figure out what we're gonna do in our off slot. They still tend to chase the same one. Give me this. Knockback's good. Excuse me? Do you not see these other guys? I guess actually they probably don't. Well, we'll just over some rooms with tables. Speed this along. There we go. Didn't even give me a second phase with that. Should be maxed out. Dead? Yes. It does suck. It seems like I get table tech blank and table tech table tech blanks and gold amulet. I only get both of them on the last floor, essentially. Wait, which way is it? Okay. It's been a very long time since I think I sat with it for another floor. Which is fine. It's still great for the last floor. Just could be greater, you know? My das well. My, that's well. Alright. Just in case we take a little damage. I think that the ship can block bullets, but I'm not totally sure. But there's a pretty good chance that we're just going to be able to knock anything that comes near us right back. Looks like these are piercing. They're definitely bouncing. Oh my god. No, they're not piercing. Whale, whale, whale. The compass doesn't do anything when you're in the boss room. I'm still pretty hopeful for Blank's companion, Blank companion ring, but there's like I cannot complain. Okay, that was dumb. That's some really bad positioning. Let's play this as safe as possible. It's also, we're doing a ton of extra damage by blanking, so. Finish gun is a little intentionally busted. Don't go sideways. I went fucking sideways, Jesus Christ. We're not even going to be able to really tell that he's rotating. Oh, I guess we can. Damn it. Let's get rid of that one. We got one. Yep. Okay. That run was fucking nuts. We got everything except for the rat fight. Dude, I love how it actually blue shifts when you pull that back. The gravity of the trigger on the bullet that can kill the pest being aimed at the lich. The red lines on the screen blue shift. That's so crazy. Well, I wanted to show off the new green screen thing that I worked on last night with Jackie. So we moved the green screen around. You can't tell it in here. I'll wait until this video's done. Anyway, great run. Exactly demon number of kills, which is great for a high curse run. Blank City. We went the shortest distance on bullet hell because of the compass. It was a good purchase just because I never really got another active item anyway, even though I could have held another one. Shitload of money again. Anytime you hit 4 digits on the money, that means you must have high curse. Good stuff. Wait, let's put the streak up to 44.